All right, so welcome.
Hey,
guys.
thank you.
Stoked to have you here.
Glad to
Likewise, yeah, we're pumped. Hell yeah.
It's been a hot minute since you guys have been in Australia.
2019, before the world stopped spinning. So, yeah, it's been a minute.
And there's been a lot of music released since that time too, so it's kind of a nice thing to be able to get back and...
We got super fortunate just from the perspective of we were planning on making a record. We were in Europe and we had planned on that being the last tour. We ended and then, you know,
It was the last tour.
stuff went haywire. Yeah, but then we did our quarantine bit and we ransacked my house for pre-production and then moved into a place in Gilbert and we did
his wife out of the house.
Yeah, we did.
And took it over and
That's okay.
made it a studio for a little
All
bit.
in the name of art, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Try telling her that. Yeah.
So it went over well.
It went over well. Yeah.
It's always the awkward move being like, well,
Yeah.
we need to.
Yeah.
This is where we stop prying about that.
Darling, don't watch the interview. It was horrible.
Yeah,
It's not worth it. But, so how's the response been for... Because, I mean, you guys have been able to tour a fair bit in the States.
Yeah. I mean, it's for a while there. It was confusing for us because normally we have about a 2-year record cycle. So we'll put a record out, tour for 2 years.
Yeah.
But immediately when you release something, generally for us, you're able to get a temperature on how people are feeling about it because we go right to the road and try it out. And this was kind of the opposite. We had nothing but time, sitting at home. And it's sort of weird because you're insulated. I mean, I guess you're insulated when you're on the road, right? Like people are buying tickets to see your show. You're also insulated online where people are following you because they like your music. So, we had a comfy cushion of support because people were vocally like, yo, we dig this. So it's always...
More to the online stuff. Like, were you... Normally, people would be like, oh, you get the response from the shows. Did it make you sort of shift your focus to be like, see what people are talking about online more?
We definitely tried to pay more attention to just being engaged online. We did 4 or so virtual live stream gigs, which just didn't obviously recreate the thing. But during those, we managed to have sort of a monitor that size and have the chat room kind of going during the concert. So it was
cool.
I could at least play off that as opposed to staring at cameras and being like, we're sick. This is dope.
So there's no one there to bounce.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's no feedback in that scenario. So, but it was kind of funny because it was then you're seeing people say oh, missed a note. Oh, you know what I mean? It's and in real time, at a show, you're not getting that. Nobody can tell you.
Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up.
You're
read it and you're but it was so fun. It was it's a thing that we would never ever do normally. So
fully.
I think just embracing the fact that we could even do that was huge for us, and it got us through. And made us feel like we had music out and we were kind of...
Totally.
It gave us some sort of sense of normalcy, which I think was really important for us at that time because we sat with this record for so long and we just wanted to feel like we had something to say and something new. So,
for sure.
So that part of it was cool.
It's a really good point, actually, that because we've obviously spoken, basically in every interview we've done, talking to bands about their experience through the pandemic and all that sort of stuff, and how it was so weird that it felt like this got stripped away from us and it could maybe never come back, but it's now come back bigger than ever because of the state of the world and the connection and all that sort of stuff that it created. If you think about it, though, if this had happened even 20 years ago, it could have potentially completely killed the industry, killed the music scene, because you didn't have the opportunity to do the live streams and the things, everyone can do it now. Even if it doesn't sound great, you can do it on your iPhone, playing songs in your bedroom at home, and your fans are still going to love it. They're still going to respect the fact that you're trying to give that to them. Whereas, 20, 30 years ago, if you didn't have a network or something behind you were fucked.
Absolutely.
No one's going to hear you.
Yeah, just streaming alone, right? You press a record and now it's sort of a novelty, right? You're pressing records for that specific group of people that like vinyl, that are digging that. And at this point, I think we did press CDs for this most recent one, but it's the quantity's so few, right?
Yeah.
But if you have a scenario like you're saying that happened, 2 years ago, but happened 20 years ago, it could very well have been, the end of certainly a lot of bands. I think that the conglomerate, the big, massive machine of the business side of things would have probably prevailed because that's sort of how the world works. But
there's also like the music videos and stuff like that would have, because in then there was a resurgence during pandemic, but pre, there wasn't like a big period where there was like that sort of stuff happening.
For sure.
20 years ago, that's all people had, music videos, and that was the thing that people watched for 5 months, that one video before that.
I think too, noticing just like when we ramped back up and sort of played our first show, I remember it was in Arizona at a place called Crescent Ballroom, and I mean the pent up anxiety and nerves that we had felt, you could feel in the room.
Yeah.
And then it took a couple songs to sort of break the ice, but then it's the same kind of fervent kind of attitude that you're talking about now, where it's just like these rooms are kind of buzzing and kind of in a way that you might not have ever felt before because of the lack that was there,
Yeah, it's been like a silver lining that's come out of this.
Totally. Sure. Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about like appreciation, I mean, this is certainly one of those scenarios. I mean, and as you get older, the more you realize why like your parents and your grandparents just kind of spoke in platitudes, right?
Yeah.
And spoke in like what seemed like really basic humdrum, sentences or sayings, and now it's like the whole like appreciate what you got while you have it, because it might, it's like fuck, yeah, that's like
Stupid
pretty
parents
apt.
would write this
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I think it's also a good sort of reminder for, people going through their own shit that even on a global scale, like, things will get better. There is a silver lining, like a light at the end of the tunnel. Things will get better. Just do your best to get through it. Stay positive, because, obviously everyone's fucking crushed through the pandemic.
Absolutely.
Like, it ruined so many lives.
Yeah.
And now, in a music sense, like, it's the reason that this channel exists is the pandemic. We couldn't go to gigs. I couldn't play gigs.
Totally.
We wanted to do
You
something
still
to do
can't
with...
play gigs.
Well, I can't play gigs now because we're too busy. And...
It's probably a good thing,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I
good for the
I did a
people
tour,
too.
dude. I did a tour recently, filling in on bass for a friend's band, and did a couple of tours with them. And I was like, man, this is so fun, but I don't have this in me anymore. Hey, I can't do the whole.
It's a grind.
It's
It is
hard.
a grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, just, we haven't been here for 3 years, almost 4 years, so we're just hyped to be back. Like, we went to a restaurant last night that we had been to 3 years ago, and I don't know, just like really enjoyed it, really appreciated the company, really appreciated the experience, and just the whole idea of like, fuck, we're here because of
the other side
music,
of the world, yeah.
that's like something that's certainly not lost on us, so.
The Oz tour is a bit of a whirlwind comparative to like touring the States.
Oh,
Where you guys
yeah.
go like we just drive to that next town and do that. Here we're flying in between states. How draining is that on you?
It's pretty taxing, like, not gonna lie, like, especially like this set of dates is kind of unique in our experience, because we normally would come over and for like, let's say 4 of the 5 cities, we would fly in day of for those shows, and this is all spaced out, so we have a day off show, fly out, day off kind of deal. So just now, and we're moving into different phases of our band as a band, but also as individuals. Having kids and whatnot, and being away is difficult, but it's also, you just try to maximize your time while you're away, and just be very intentional with whatever you're doing, and I think that applies with being on stage as well, as like, in our young 20s, it was probably more of like a, fucking flippant, carefree attitude, let's just get fucked up or just have fun, and like, who cares, right?
Who cares if we don't sleep for a week?
Yeah. Or like, who cares how the show goes? You know, it's like, and now I think, for us, it's a lot more intentional. It's a lot more like, trying to maximize your time while you're here, and just like give people, because I guess going back to what we were talking about, even like fuck pandemic, like the idea that people are paying working jobs, paying for a ticket. It's like you just want to deliver an experience. And not to say that we never thought about it like that, but I think
It's like reiterated.
yeah, absolutely, especially with age, So
On that, does now that you guys have obviously become so big, especially over here, like look at the venues you're playing on this tour. Is there a little bit more pressure to deliver that experience? Because you guys are the headline band. There's expectation. There's longer sets. Is there any approach that you guys take to that now, looking back on how you were earlier, that you do super differently, or that you're really, really conscious of, in terms of set lists and what you do on stage and all that sort of stuff?
I think it was
like a
in tandem. That was stereo. We both went.
Sounds really good in the microphone.
Yeah. It's like ASMR now.
Yeah.
I think for us, it's like we've always tried to raise the bar for whatever the next project is. So keeping that in mind the whole time, now that we have the ability to like headline shows or see the shows get bigger or whatever it is, we're just trying to take advantage of that and apply the same principles, but on a bigger scale. As for the set list, it's getting a lot harder because we have a lot of records now.
Yeah. Eight records now?
8, yeah.
Jesus.
So, even whittling that down to an hour is like, it's a pain in the ass. There's a lot of stuff. Luckily, Pat, our drummer, is like, he's like a master with set lists. So we just kind of like, he'll kind of like pick it and send it off. And then more times than not, we're like, yeah, that's fine. That's the
interesting.
One. Yeah.
That's the first time we've heard that, because almost everyone we've asked has been, there's often, that's what we almost come to blows over.
I think that the big thing that we all share is that we're first and foremost fans of music.
Yeah.
And so when we go to concerts outside of our world, we are very aware that I don't want to just go see the new record only from insert artist or band, right? So,
but you don't want to hear every song, the hit that they've played on
totally.
Every single
tour. Variety
is
key, but it's also just it's like coming at it from the idea of what would it be like to be in the room for this, right? And trying to spread it out and trying to balance it. I think we've been really, really fortunate too that a lot of the people that support our music and listen to us have allowed us to really always focus on the new and the now. And I think that selfishly we play into that a lot because it still means a great deal to us, and we're not just resting on what we did 15 years ago or 14 years ago. But we also acknowledge that, and try to bleed that in as much as we can when we see fit. But yeah, Pat does a lot of it, and
he's kind of he's got his thumb kind of on the pulse of what our fans are saying, on Twitter or whatever it is.
Okay.
He there's a small subset of people who would be like, guys, you can't play this song again on the next tour. I've seen you play it X amount of times.
Yeah.
So sometimes we'll think about that. Sometimes it's more about the flow of how the set.
He dubbed them setlist divas, and guys and girls alike, they'll come to him and say like Jared said, don't do that, and he'll be like, okay, well, what would you suggest? And then it's very interactive, and it's very because some people have gone to. I don't know. I mean, I think this is our 7th time being here. Some people have seen us every single time. So it's it's a fine balance of appeasement and also selfishness.
And the other thing is the rooms are getting bigger. You're getting more and more fans that are going back. I personally love when I find a band that's at the level that you guys are at. It's like, holy shit, they've got 4, 5, 6, 7 other albums I can listen to. This is fucking rad. But then the rooms are getting bigger. There's more people. You got more music. You're never ever going to be able to please everyone. You're never going to know what everyone wants to hear.
I think the earlier you realize that, the better off you're going to be.
Unless you're Bruce Springsteen and play for 4 fucking hours.
No one's got time.
That's a massive compromise.
The big thing as well, though, I feel for a lot of the bands here, they're it needs authenticity. And if you guys are sick of playing the same song, we spoke with Anna Shikari last week, and they were saying there's some songs there that people want to see every time, and we actually had to take a year off because we weren't enjoying it anymore, and that translates.
For sure.
And that'd be a big thing, I imagine, is playing what you guys want to actually play as well, not just what they need to
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I also think there's a level of like, and actually I'm going to steal this from Jim from Jimmy Eat World. We announced a show that we're doing, and we were doing sort of a joint interview, and he was talking about their song "The Middle" and how even playing it 2,000 times, he's like, when you play it here tonight in Sydney, there could be a different energy about it completely that could bring new life to the song and give it its own story in that moment, in that city, at that specific time. So I think allowing for that as well and trying not to get bogged down by
That's a great attitude to have towards
I
it.
do this every day, it's like, I think that was a pretty good perspective to have.
I also like there's a Jimmy Orr quote where he's like, "We're professional musicians. Like that's our job to do that thing."
Yeah.
I think that's a really good attitude.
Yeah,
Like, you
I
guys
mean,
are professional musicians. This is your job.
There's
to do
people
that.
all over the world that clock into all kinds of different jobs that they don't want to do day in and day out. We're lucky that the gripe is a song that maybe we've played too many times.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
something we can definitely wrestle with. We'll
For
be
sure.
okay.
Yeah.
It could be worse. Could be, cleaning our bedpans or something like
Yeah,
that. It's like, that patient's much cleaner.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're lucky in that sense, I suppose. And it is good to know that there's a lot of most bands, I assume, would still be humble in that sense that they're very grateful, especially after the 2 years of being off. And it's just like, man, we're lucky to be able to do this. We're lucky we got it back.
100%.
We feel very lucky for sure.
Now you guys have played 7 times here.
I believe so. 6 or 7, yeah.
You're almost old hands at Australia. Johnny put together a little Australian quiz.
Okay.
How confident are you in your Australian
Dude,
knowledge?
not very, but we can give it our best.
We can offend easily, for
That's-
sure.
That's all we want. That's all we really want.
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
actually get in the
All
answer.
right.
Hey, we've been defending people for a year and a half
All
now,
right.
so all right. Can you hold
Yeah.
this, sir? Thank you.
Okay.
All right, where's my quiz gone? Here we go. You think I'd know it by now?
I actually did some of them today to my dad's Father's Day here, and I did some to my dad, being like, and he didn't get them.
Okay,
Really?
all right.
Just to give you guys confidence.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, all right. Part 1 is going to be music and entertainment. All right.
Okay.
Who is Australia's most successful band of all time?
AC/DC.
AC/DC.
Well done.
Bonus
Okay.
point.
Yeah.
What country did they not have a top 20 hit in?
Oh, wow.
Top 20 hit.
What country? I mean,
It's a big one.
it's a big one.
Just
India.
Russia?
America.
Oh, wow.
They've never had a top 20.
Really?
Never had a top 20 hit.
Really?
I think a lot of their songs got bigger there a lot later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Well, you caught us in one already.
Yeah.
That was a bonus point anyway. All right, name 3 Australian actors.
Oh, Hugh Jackman,
Boom.
Russell Crowe.
Yep.
Nicole Kidman.
Hey!
Actually, the fastest to ever get it.
Yeah,
Anyone we've
yeah.
ever done. Yeah, you guys crushed
Yeah.
that.
We watch movies.
A lot
Lot of
people
downtime,
struggle,
lot of
and even
downtime.
Nate said, he's like, you've had nothing to fucking do but watch movies
Yeah.
for 2
Yeah.
years. How have you
Yeah.
not got this?
And IMDb everybody.
You save it
So
and they're
bored.
like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with how big like the Marvel stuff's got, and most Aussies are in Marvel movies now.
Oh, that's
Say the
true.
Hemsworth boy.
Hemsworth boys, yeah. You got a bit of a Thor vibe going
Yeah,
on.
he's been gushing over them too.
Oh, I've talked about him all the
They're
time.
very
That's all I
good
talk
looking.
about.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
handsome. Wow.
All right. So, what famous surf town did Parkway Drive come from? Now, obviously, this channel is a little bit more heavy metal leaning. Should I give him another hint? I'm just going to give you another hint.
Okay.
The Hemsworths.
Live there?
Yeah. Fuck, that's not a hint. Just saying the thing you said. Yes, they
well-
live there.
I don't know. That's so hard because I'm only now finding out where like places like Michigan are on the map and
Cool. And this is the other side.
Vermont,
This is
Vermont
what-
and I would say I'm just gonna say something that I've heard
You're
once.
gonna say Bondi.
Gold Coast.
It's so close.
Okay.
Close.
Yeah.
Byron Bay.
Oh.
Have you ever been there?
Yes.
Maybe.
Or no, Bondi is where we've
You would have
been.
been to
Yeah,
Bondi. for
Bondi,
sure.
Yeah.
they're like 12 hours apart.
Okay, yeah, we're way off.
Then yeah.
Bondi's only about
I
30
feel like
minutes.
we've been to Byron Bay. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's a nice spot, but it's also like you'd never play a show there.
Okay.
Then probably not.
Yeah.
Unless you were a hardcore band at a youth centre.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. Part 2, wildlife and food. Australia is home to the world's deadliest spider. What's it called?
Ooh.
Do you have your phone? Oh,
He hates spiders.
I hate spiders, but I guess not enough to know the name of this one.
This one has the location we're in right now in the name.
It does?
Yeah. The Sydney.
Oh, I don't know then. I was thinking like a brown recluse or something, but
I'm going to give you a look at it.
okay. I hate that. I've actually never seen that, but now I have. That sucks.
You'll hate it even more now because they like to do that. They like to stand up on their legs and bare their fangs.
No,
Yeah.
Dude.
You're absolutely right. No, it's called the Sydney funnel web.
Okay. The funnel web.
Yeah.
So steer clear.
Massive. You're not going to see one.
Okay.
You're not going to see one.
Not in the city.
Well, now that you said that.
When we first
We might.
landed this trip, we were walking. I forget what city. What was the first city?
We were in Brisbane.
Brisbane, and there were some trees overhead, and he's like, "Guys, just be careful. Like I've heard spiders fall from these trees." It's like,
I almost walked into one. The first time we were here, it was like this big. I was just walking.
Those things aren't
Yeah.
deadly though. They're just like gold
Yeah.
ones. You're fine.
Yeah.
They just look bad.
They're still scary.
Yeah.
All right. What type of animal is the Australian Western Gobbleguts?
One more time. What's it called?
The Australian Western Gobbleguts.
I'm gonna say bird.
Everyone says bird.
I wasn't. No,
thinking-
that wasn't my answer.
That's why you
I
didn't
was.
say it, yeah,
I
you-
would say bird, but
I'm thinking it's like a boar or something, or like a.
It's actually a fish.
It's
and
a fish.
It's
Okay.
pretty.
A dull, boring fish.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a pretty boring
Has
I
fish.
a
heard
fun
like
name, though.
gobble. I was just thinking this is something that would like.
Right, you would think it would be big.
Yeah.
Gobblegut boar is a really good answer. 'Cause
Yeah.
It sounds a bit piggish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
It's the
gobble.
old
I like
Gobbleguts.
that. Yeah.
That's what I call Johnny.
On that, what is a golden gay time? Now, because you're here, you're going to have to go and experience one.
I was just gonna say like a badass time. But
Is it like brunch?
It's a type of food.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Is it a dessert?
It is.
Would
Yeah,
it-
it's
maybe
an
a cookie?
It's an ice cream. Well,
Okay.
It's an
it's an ice
that's
cream
coated in broken up
coated in
cookie.
cookie.
Wow, okay.
What?
Get one.
Okay.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
make sure
And
you
you
get the
like
original
service
one, not
station.
like the unicorn one.
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
They fucked it up.
Write that down.
All right. Part 3, Aussie knowledge and history. What is, now you should know this, you've been here a few times. What is a bogan?
Like someone who lives like outside of the city.
I think like what we
Question mark?
like what maybe America would call like a redneck.
Boom.
That's exactly how I've
Yeah.
explained it to everyone.
Okay.
Perfect.
You guys are
Well done.
doing
You guys
well.
are fucking
Yeah.
killing this. Holy shit.
I watched
I'm kind of a
Heights.
redneck, so
Yeah.
Kind of a bogan while you're here.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
a bogan, yeah.
Which famous Australian coined the phrase crikey?
Oh, it was Paul.
No.
Well, it's.
No.
Oh, it's Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well
I was gonna go.
done.
I like
why
it.
was I gonna
Yeah.
go with
No,
Crocodile
yeah,
Dundee?
that
Oh my
didn't
God.
help.
The
Just
funny
no.
thing was, a lot of people have gone for Paul Hogan because they get Crocodile Dundee and Crocodile Hunter mixed up, and you put him up on that.
Thank you.
So you
Good
get
job.
the point.
You've got
Yeah.
the duo
Good
thing
work.
going on.
That was close.
All right, true or false? The Emu Wars in 1932, where soldiers from the Australian military engaged in a week-long battle with a force of 20,000 emus that were destroying wheat crops, in which the military lost.
In 1932, you said?
So essentially, the police versus 20,000 emus.
Which is,
and they
wow.
lost. Is that true or false?
I'm gonna go
I'm going with true.
true. Yeah.
It is
It is
true.
true.
It is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is true. Google it. Very interesting. Basically, they just overestimated how many 20,000 emu were. They
That's a
ran
lot.
out of ammo
And they
and they
just
just
said,
bailed.
"Fuck
Yeah.
it."
Yep, pretty much.
You can have this space.
Yeah,
That's a
exactly. We
lot.
can do without bread.
It's so.
Yeah.
It's just 10 times this venue, filled of emus.
That's
20,000.
insane.
That's a
nuts,
lot of
dude.
fucking big birds.
That is
Yeah.
a lot.
Anybody would win that. Fight.
All right, the final one. Which of these places, if any, is a fake name? Funny Knob Creek, Pensioners Bush, or Mossy Nipple Bend?
Jesus.
Mossy Nipple sounds like the fake one, but
What was the first one?
Funny Knob Creek.
Funny Knob Creek. I might go Funny Knob,
Knob Creek is a whiskey, so I feel like Knob Creek
but
could
like
be real.
Funny Knob. I don't know.
Funny Knob. I'm going with the Nipple Bend or whatever it is.
All right.
We're split. We got it.
Final answer, nipple.
They're all real.
They're all real.
They're all
Oh.
real.
Have you ever
Fuck.
been to Tasmania? Because that might explain it.
I mean,
Never.
no.
Never.
Do
No.
yourself a favour.
Oh, sorry,
Mossy
Tasmanians.
Nimble Bend. Delicious.
Dude,
Yeah?
amazing.
Get a photo in front of the sign.
Everyone does part of
I'm
it,
sure
right?
nobody
So,
ever has, right?
You guys got 1, 2,
2.
3,
You just can't count. It's sorry.
4, 5, 6. You got 6.
We'll
Well
take
done.
6. Good job.
Yeah,
Good
that
work.
is quite impressive. I think the duo thing helped there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
I
Sure.
don't want to take away from you too
No,
much.
no.
but You work well
We
together,
each
though.
got
We'll
three.
give you
I have an
that.
earpiece in. So.
The whole band's out there just
Yeah,
friends.
yeah.
giggling.
Exactly.
All right, now, before we let you go, you guys have got a show to get ready for. We are going to do a couple of would you rathers with you. We like to have a bit of fun with those.
All
So
right.
you go first.
All right. Gandalf or Dumbledore?
World of Wizards.
Gandalf. all day
Gandalf for
long.
sure.
Why?
All day long.
Thou shalt not pass.
Yeah, I like his vibe better.
Just way more badass. And he kind of like,
Probably be gentler.
Dylan's a teacher.
yeah, well. That's a tough one, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about Dumbledore, I'm like, I really like Dumbledore. Wow.
Dumbledore's I'm just thinking the flames throwing them around. He's a badass.
He is badass.
I'm team
Yeah.
Dumbledore though. That's...
I just, any
I'm,
wizard.
I'm more of a Lord of the Rings guy anyway, so.
Have you watched the first episode of the
I have
DVD?
not. We were
Not yet.
meaning to watch
We were-
it today.
We were going to do
but-
it today, and then I
yeah.
fell asleep, so.
Yeah.
I watched last night. Let me know when you do it because I want to talk about it with someone.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I've got to wait. I can't just watch one episode.
You got to wait till they're all out?
Okay.
Well, at least 2 or 3.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
second one's
Yeah.
out. They released the first 2.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll be watching that at
You're
1 a.m.
gone.
again.
You're dipping right now. Fuck
Where
this,
did Johnny
yeah.
go?
All right, you got to listen to one of these 2 songs once a day, every day for the rest of your life.
Uh-huh.
What do you choose? Nickelback Photograph, Creed with Arms Wide Open.
Creed, arms wide open.
Yeah, I'll go Creed.
Right.
There was a lot of thought that went into that. Though.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of like waking up.
You don't have to do it when you wake up.
I
Just once a day.
just
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah.
We actually recently spoke to Winston from Parkway Drive, and he said that they were on tour with, I think it was Suicide Silence, and they went to a bar and they watched Scott Stapp performing, and there was like 5 paying customers.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, like playing all the Creed hits,
Man.
and yeah.
It's funny, there was a window in time where it wasn't like a faux pas to listen to Creed.
We've said this before. I feel like
Yeah.
both those bands actually for us,
Kinda
been
grew
like
up.
they're so good.
Yeah.
But there's a weird stigma for them. But I've also heard those 2 songs a billion times, and I don't
Yeah.
want to hear them every day.
We
That
we
yeah.
recorded our second record in a studio called Bay 7 in Los Angeles. And this is never, Creed, Scott won't hear this, so whatever. But there's
He's actually our top subscriber.
there
I'm
is
texting him right now.
there's a room that supposedly it was like sort of like a living room, and instead of the vocal booth that like all the vocalists would sing in, he had a screen put up on the wall like that, and the vocal mic set up right in front of it so that he could, without his shirt on, look at photos of him and his wife that were like,
Oh my God, this
but
is
like,
amazing.
but the photos were like professionally shot photos of them like posing and stuff, and I
That's a
just
good
like to
version.
envision.
So he's done that ever
So
since.
naturally, naturally,
That's how John does all
I
the
repeated
vocals.
that.
I can really hear it in the vocal.
Yeah, yeah.
Sticky just really feels like
It's
he's
just
staring at
picture
himself.
me, no shirt. Yeah.
That's one of the best things I've ever heard.
Yeah. It's
That's
weird for us
great.
because we're in the room with him when he's doing it.
Also just in front of the screen. Oh, that is awkward.
All right, final one. Give him the divisive one that split the channel down the middle. It split plenty of bands down the middle.
You guys are going on tonight, dry, comfortable, ready to rock. Do you put on cold, wet socks or cold, wet underwear?
Oh, man. I'm going with the undies.
My man.
I'm going because it's going to, I feel like I get pretty hot on stage. So
We've been saying that
it'd
about
be like
you.
a night. Yeah. A lot of people.
Also, I feel like that region is it warms up pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the warmer spots on the body, so I'm gonna go underwear as well, just from
I'm done.
I just found.
Are
my
you
new
sock?
favourite
Are you
band.
going socks?
I'm team socks 100%.
Okay.
Chafing. I'm chafing at the worst of
Oh,
times.
I didn't
and
even
feel
think
like,
about the chase.
See, that's what I'm here for.
I'm thinking
to,
about the
to make
temp.
people think
I'm
about these
sticking
things.
with the undies.
Sticking with undies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Swampy.
That's okay.
New nickname, beautiful. Name of the new album, Swampy.
Swampy, yeah.
Where'd you guys get the title? We don't know.
It's a southern influence now. Yeah.
Boys, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
all
So
very
excited to have you
much.
back in
Very
Australia.
excited.
Thanks for
Great to be back.
having us. Hell yeah.
Appreciate
Let's
it.
go rock it.
Cheers.